Hey guys, how's it going? It's AdamaSanguine and welcome back to the Commonwealth. As you can tell by the length of this video, it is a large tour, so I apologize for any rambling that I do. Please bear with me. Let's turn in the quest and let them know we're ready to go.
Took care of those ghouls that were giving you trouble.
You did? That's great news. Friend, feel free to use our workshop anytime you'd like.
Awesome. So now that we have that done, let's take a look at the bare bones before we touched it up. In hindsight, it was probably a bad idea that I went and looked at a few other people's videos, only because I tend to, with my panic attacks, I tend to think that, I'll never live up to what other people have done and what they've left behind. I am playing catch up. Obviously, I don't have a lot of videos up on YouTube in comparison to others. But, what they've done for us, I've learned and taken from it. So in a short amount of time, I know I've gotten better. So you'll notice here that this part here is a little outside the standard border. So those of you that have built here before, it can be a bit scary doing these. But the borders are just on the other side of those bushes. They're just up to the fence. And I'm actually a little bit outside the border, so right about here is where the border cuts in, and then right back here is approximately where it ends, a little before that tractor. So yeah, it is pretty awesome. I actually marked all my trees that I removed so that when I replaced them, everything would be approximately where we left it. And of course, with my big wall that's going around here, it's actually going out to the road there. And yeah, so I'll do my normal thing and we'll get it done. Those of you that saw the video I released over the weekend know that I did a few things here in the front, but adding on to that was a little bit of a difficult situation because we had to make some budget cuts. But we'll get into that in a moment, and let's turn it in. Let's take a look. Okay, so obviously, big thing that jets out in the front here are the trees, and of course the turret mount here. And this corner of the settlement actually stands at the crossroads. Insert Bone Thugs Harmony, or Bone Thugs in Harmony. So it covers all four streets here. The one coming up from the National Guard, the one coming up from, there's the National Guard training yard, and then that one goes off into the downtown. And then we have, of course, the airports over there. But yeah, this wall is probably the largest wall that I've done. I wanted to do more detail, and I did get to my my budget limit. I probably went over probably 2 size bars, maybe 2.5 approximately, trying to get it all in. Only because I wanted to add the small details, so more than just a couple little things of wood. But this pillbox here actually guards that little stone wall there. And there are the occasional ghoul spawns that happen there. Those that haven't built here don't know about those ghouls. And of course, there are some blood bugs that occasionally will come through. This is the final guard stage, or station, which overlooks the going down toward the airport and all that. Shout out to Sardeliac for the idea for using these turret blinds there, which actually cover the side. Yeah, really like that pillbox though. That's probably one of my favorite ones, my second favorite one in this build. Obviously, you notice the shipping crate, and there are several other crates in this build that actually do cover the, well, those are actually right across over there, inside the back of the training yard. So yeah, here we go. Here's the front. Those of you that saw my build over the weekend know a little bit about how this turned out. There's Doc Weather's medical clinic there. Awesome. Turned out really great. I love the angular steeple there on top. It's almost like a little church. And of course, the great big sign up there, County Crossing, big farm, bigger heart. Excuse the edit there was a lot of clouds. But we actually snagged that sign from the National Guard outpost and made it ours. So talk about scavenging, right? This, of course, is our trading shop. All her goods that she sells is actually visible to the public, or at least most of them. Everything, a little bit of everything that she sells that you can't really get to behind this wire fence. So you can snag steal the little pieces on top, but you're not going to get to the good stuff. And if you try, there is a plasma turret that's actually right up there. behind that wall that will definitely take you out. And yeah, this is, I like how this turned out. This is, I tried to make it not too bland, so mixed up the colors a little bit. Obviously you could tell by the little picket fences there, different colored ones, just to make it big but slightly colorful, because it doesn't matter whether you do them, you know, all wood, all metal, you know, pretty or ugly, or just pretty ugly. They're still going to attack this settlement regardless. So yeah, this one is my favorite one. I like how that one turned out. A lot of good shapes there. I love the angles of that wall. And there was a little Z flicker there, hence the banners that are hanging up. I'll show you on the inside of why the was a little bit of issues there. Awesome. Excuse me. And here we have the main entrance to the settlement. All the settlers use this. I really love how these Brahmin skulls turned out. Yeah, those are pretty cool. I want to use more of those often. This goes off into here. That goes off into Doc Weathers. And of course the first part where when they come in, this is usually how they get in. And this back here is the back of the store. Free delivery for everyone. She keeps her main goods, all of her good stuff underneath that, in that chest, underneath the combat shotgun. So if anybody gets a little bit rowdy, she can definitely handle her business. So she definitely has some quick access there. And of course in the bar here, I tried to get as much decoration as I could, although these tables tend to blend out the place, even though they do have that bright white, which is why I use them, and trying to find something on them that decorates them but still doesn't, it's still hard with the color of those tables. And back here we have two of each of the Gwyneth beers, the Gwyneth Ale, Gwyneth Stout. We had all ice cold, and they got some top shelf booze back there, some bourbon, whiskey, Bobroff's Best Moonshine, and just a few decorations in here. Again, it is a little bit sparse, trying to use scavenged assets, but at the same time vary it up enough just to make it look like a professional business. Not a professional build, but a professional business in the wasteland. It can be a little tough. And this shower, probably the third one that I've done, trying to make it look more varied than the last. So in the end, I was able to use the I think it's a pink light or a purple light there. Again, red-green colorblind, hard to tell sometimes. Here we go. And let's see. Oop, close that up here in a moment. And this is where the father and the son stay. Even if they are a little bit older, sometimes they do play a little bit catch, or maybe that's just from the son's childhood, remembering better days back when their mother was still alive. And back here, I love this Brahmin skull. This is the third one in the settlement with the derby there, and that one actually is based off of a build that Mad Rocks did and dedicated to Oxhorn. Of course, he used the creation kit, so mine doesn't look quite as nice, but yeah, it's pretty cool. Went to a lot of effort to, everything in my settlements are hand placed, so I hope you guys don't mind that I keep my my crosshairs on. So here's the hat collection for the son. He has his fedora collection here, one of each, including the fancy, and then we have the standard. I think these have to do with anything that's like a naval, and then he has the top shelf there, which is just his standard Commonwealth hats there. And I figure the pictures back here will be the mother. And this is the military hat set. This is the ones the father collects. And yeah, all except for the minor hat there. I just figured it was nice and it took up shelf space. So that one, I have no reason for the big minor hat, but the military hat collection was awesome. And of course, we have the big sliding blast door here. And that's the nice thing about this, is this slides in really easy. You don't have to glitch it or anything. It pops right through the shack walls or the shack ceiling. So if you guys want to use that in your builds, awesome. It's very easy to place. It's very forgiving, squishy. And of course, we have a nice little kitchen area, outdoor kitchen area. If you want to have a nice snack here, this is where they make their vegetable soup and the cup of noodles. You got the razor grain, and there's some dirty water there as well. Awesome. Got a gorgeous view here as well. Maybe take some pop shots in any kind of raiders coming up. And this is the basic storage. We had the extra space, so we store all of the equipment back here, extra furniture, extra boxes for trading. because again, this is the County Crossing is at the major crossroads, so pretty much all settlements lead here, or all provisioners tours leave through here. Is that the right word? Either way, close that up. Hopefully I'm not rambling, guys. I'm not good with the large videos, which is why my Let's Plays aren't very popular on YouTube. Anyway, anxiety is a pain in the tuchus. And of course, if the raiders do come in, they are going to get hung up on this nice little area here that goes off into the back porch, if you will. And yeah, this one, I like this one. The chain link here actually didn't even need to be glitched. Just a little patience, you can actually slide that in. It fits in perfect in there. And of course, we have the original workbench that came with this settlement. Didn't move anything around, just built up around it. Of course, again, we used the original house that came here on this. So again, trying to nav mesh that was a bit of a pain, because they still didn't like it much. Here's the sun. He is very protective of his glowing fungus there. So yeah, I wanted to see if I could pick it, but he said, no, get away from my fungus. My fungus is among us. This is the Doc Weathers Clinic. You guys know when you saw me decorate this over the weekend. Didn't really show you too much in here, but it turned out pretty cool. If we actually, yeah, the lighting at nighttime actually looks pretty cool in here. Yeah, that comes off of that X-ray panel. It's pretty cool. And of course, this is the blood buckets here. These catch. You get some newspaper to soak up anything that gets on the floor. They might have the occasional amputation that Doc Weathers has to do, and if the settlers have to do it themselves, well, it's going to get quite messy. That was silly. Yeah, this is the where the Doc Weathers tends to hang out with his posse, his crew, his caravan guards. They'll tend to eat at this station here and just hang out. I don't have I did have to revert to an earlier save to do this build, but yeah, so I don't have my my provision or caravan stand on the save. But yeah, pretty awesome. And of course, yeah, I figured that was a fun little joke, the life preserver, for the ankle deep water that's back here. And we were able to bring in some what do they call those? Anyway, I forget. And then of course we have our farmer on loan from and this nice little turret here. This actually guards the little hill that comes around the corner, because we do get it. Probably had 2 raider spawns. But yeah, we have this guy on loan from the slog, and he's just helping us get the tarberry patch up and running, ready for market. Well. So he showed us how to grow the best tarberries, or maybe second best. And yeah, fitting this in. Of course, this is outside the standard settlement, but with the borders expanded, of course, we were able to add those in. Nice. And I really love these covered shack bridges. Those turned out well. Here's a nice little sitting area for everybody to hang out when they're done with work for the day. I have seen one settler use this this week, but of course I have been paying more attention to the actual build instead of just standing around taking it all in. And then of course this goes to the second entrance exit for the area. Want to have multiple ways in, but of course the settlers know the pathing. The raiders don't really so much when they come in. Oh, NUKACOLA victory. I might have that after the night tour. It looking nice in the nighttime. And back here, yeah, it was nice getting these just gorgeous. Bringing in these shipping crates. Of course, I don't know how we got them over here. The settlers brought them in before I started my build. They said, here's some shipping crates that you asked for, boss. So we got that in. The shop owner and I think one of the farmers stay back here. And I was trying to get some storage in here that actually fit. It was a little tough, but this mailbox actually worked out pretty well. I haven't used a mailbox for storage before, at least outside the standard big one that you get, that you find in the vanilla. Up here is the scavenger's room. Ooh. Boy, talk about, I need my own pathing mat. I can't get through here. This is where the scavenger stays. She actually has a little scavenging mat right here on top of that rug. And she's been practicing her art from her favorite artist. And she did a pretty good job. She's a good copy. Nice. Yeah, very bare bones in here. Not a whole lot. and there's not a lot that'll fit in these little shipping crates, unless you build them from scratch, which you can do. Haven't done that yet. Might have to. And this is the first guard station here. She guards the, what would this be? The east-facing wall. This guard post faces east. We've got the super mutants over there at the satellite array, and on the other side of that, we've got the Finch Farm on the other side of the satellite array. Nice. Pathing works really well on that. Was really happy. Always love it when my ugly little pathways work. Nice. So I borrowed this idea, got the tractor up and running. I borrowed this idea from the Sardeliac build over the weekend. I figured that was pretty cool, and the gas fumes coming out. I thought that was pretty cool coming out from that generator. Make it look, get the tractor up and running. Nice. Just fits in really well. That actually takes care of the security light back here in the back and one shotgun turret. So 3 power, 2 for the shotgun, 1 for the security light. This is a very basic greenhouse, kind of ugly, but it gets job done. We also have 1 guard post there, and that would be the 2nd guard post for the east side wall, and this is the 3rd one again. So she has her all eyes, or most of her views from out here. Again, we'll get gunner spawns on this side as well. So her job is very important, taking care of those, watching out for gunners and raiders. She has it pretty cool. Nice. This is a nice little break area when everybody's hanging out. But best part about this one, they got a great view of the settlement and all the crops out there. Nice. Sometimes the sun will come up here and hang out. Nice. I think we have 4 or 5 farmers here. Nice. And of course, this one looks over the train outpost, or the train depot. Looks over toward the airport. Nice. Oh, here's the sun.
Easy living.
What's up, dude? Keep up the good work. Yeah, this security light here, I'll show you how that works. I didn't know that it actually could be switched on, or when it is switched on, that it'll actually turn on the security light. But that siren is a bit annoying, so we'll turn that right back off. But yeah, they've actually had to activate that twice this week. Gotta love the raiders. Thank God no gunners yet, but I'm sure they can handle it. And if you guys saw my little picture on Twitter, here is Foreman Buttercup. He is the high horse.
Seems to be
Nice.
growing well.
It's coming in quite nice. And then we have this nice cart over here on the side. This is where they drop off their any of the fruit that they pick, any of the vegetables, the carrots, the mood fruit, at the end of each day. And then they can, of course, get that right over to be sold off through the bar/restaurant. Nice. And up here in the back corner, this is where we had to do our budget cuts. So I had to make the wall not as detailed, just because this is when I talked about my crashes over the weekend. Was because once I got here, this is about where the PlayStation said you can't build anymore. An error has occurred. Nice, but this is probably my favorite spot here though, because these the shade here in the trees, and here's the back side of the pillbox. It is hollow on the back, but yeah, it turned out pretty awesome. I like how that one worked. Fits right into the side of the hill. And then we have another farmer, or excuse me, 2 farmers that live in here, and not a whole lot, but it's pretty cool. Nice. Oh, I forgot to decorate a footlocker. Sorry about that. I guess, yeah, I get the hacksaw there, though. And this is my bunker player home. If you saw the little video that I did, I hadn't decorated the outside, so just had some nice little lights here. And, yeah, this goes right back into the workbenches, or, excuse me, crafting stations. And we have, not too many shipments back here. I don't want to break the bank of the Commonwealth, mess up the system. But yeah, just have enough. I love that little poster. And this is where I keep the mods for my handgun as well. And this is a malfunctioning generator, so we do have to keep the coolant on hand to actually make that work proper, because it tends to overheat without a proper fusion core. But we made it work. So yeah, this is of course part of the original father and son's house. And nobody coming in? I'll close that up. I like to, at least you can hear them coming in if they try to come in behind you. But yeah, bam. So I loved how using the ventilation for the trailers actually fits in really well and adds a lot of movement to your design that you're doing. So the desk fans are great, but those fans are, you know, of course, even bigger. I like that. We have a few supplies back here for emergencies. And my T-51 helmet, I'm going to try to get one of those, each one of those in my build. And we got a few little knickknacks here as well. A few little collection. Of course, my big bobblehead display was able to get one of each on there. Nice. One of each. That made no sense. Of course, there's only one of each. Nice. Yeah, I really love those ventilation. And I have my own little mini chemistry station. They're part of that sink. And this is my own personal armory. And I have just the Marine Recon armor there. And I have a first aid kit for myself, a few weapons, and a few outfits to change into for disguising. But, of course, the main thing back here is we have a lot of money to sell off if I need it in an emergency. It's all here. Nice. So if I can close that up. Come on. There it is. Awesome. Yeah, really liked how that bed turned out. And the Assaultron helmet is probably my favorite helmet because it has the animated face mask. But I wish it had more. Without mods, I wish it had more protection. Just a basic bathroom. Not much in here. But, you know, does the job. Nice. And so it's probably 4 doors just on my little bunker here. So pretty cool. Yeah, it was actually, it's like, what's that, 2.5 times the size of what it originally was before I got to this settlement. Awesome. It's nice, very nice. All right, let's see, what else do we got? I think that's pretty much it. Boy, this courtyard is my favorite at nighttime, just because the standard glowing lighting system that's added into this settlement. But basic bathroom here. This is the settlement's bathroom. Not a lot in here, but you know, it works. It just works. Awesome. Well, guys, that's pretty much going to do it for the day tour. I hope this settlement is worthy of the ones that came before it. I am AdamaSanguine. I love you all. I'm out.
Lost track of how many blisters I got.
honest as honest work gets.
Yes?